there is.
That's the case. I know you get into character about this.
You were just there.
For once, I wasn't involved.
No,
For
surprisingly,
once, it's not
no.
Aligor's fault. For once, Aligor was just behaving in the snow.
You're lashing out at us?
He's literally gonna sit there and go, honestly, I'm surprised the dwarf wasn't involved. I am super surprised in this.
I am bottom feeding.
These are all true
Lashing out
statements.
on this. Because
These are all true
Bone
statements.
Daddy doesn't want to take
Hell hath freezeth over.
Oh my god. So last week,
You guys made your way down to Candlekeep. You guys traveled through the snow that should not have been there that far south. You guys encountered an ancient white dragon who was under attack by a bunch of spellcasters and cultists. The white dragon's dead. That's the good news. Instead of steering clear of something that could kill a obviously very large ancient white dragon, you guys sent Zen to go and investigate. Zen quietly sneaks back, calls for help. Lunarius tells you to stand down. Just wait. Wait 3 minutes. 3 minutes! That's all he needed to get there. That's all he needed for the teleport spell. That was it. Zen pulls out the alchemist fire and then notices that the paladins are already watching this. And gets the attention of them. Randolph comes over, takes the alchemist fire, tells one of his allies to summon a djinn. And they are going to attempt to surprise attack the cultists who are attacking this dragon. It mostly worked, except for the 2 powerful archmages that whooped y'all's ass 2 sessions ago.
Yay.
And then proceeded to whoop their ass.
Yay.
woo.
Long story short, you guys are making your way through the woods and seeing the paladins very injured, probably about to be executed by Rygor, the blade singer, who did the ass whooping last time. And Galark decides to jump out of the cart to save them. Foolishly. With the help of the Horn of Valhalla, the lucky wisdom saving throw to not be held in place, and the 6-second distraction needed for Randolph to gain enough advantage to deal a substantial blow on Rygor, causing Zane to stop focusing on you guys and assist his partner. Everyone managed to escape far enough to see a Silvr great worm flying over the battlefield and supposedly wiping out Rygor and Zane. Supposedly. It is a lot of damage.
Dun dun dun.
You guys make it to Candlekeep, and as you're waiting there, you notice few figures walking out of the woods. The 3 paladins who did survive, Infernus, Steven, and Randolph, and a very angry Silvr Great Worm in his elven form, walking towards y'all. You all fail the frightful presence and are essentially standing there helpless as he opens the door to Candlekeep and allows you all to come in. You find rest, you find the mages who are completely oblivious to anything that's happened outside because of the wards placed on Candlekeep. One of you goes to the library to further research into dragons and what is going on with this whole situation. There, Galark discovers that You have. What is your dragon's name again? I want to say Rufus for some reason.
Rover.
Rover, that's it. Like, why do I have the name Rufus on my mind?
Thinking about naked mole rats.
Probably. You find out that Rover actually possesses the spirit of an ancient black dragon and is a lot smarter than you've come to believe. You then agree to a little extra help from Rover and make a warlock pact with your dragon. You are now watched over by two very different dragons. And that is where we left off. Everybody else went to bed that night while Galark was exploring the library. Galark, as you're exploring the library, you do find there are places to lay down and rest, so you can take a rest whenever you want.
Okay. Which Galark does.
Yeah. As morning comes, you guys did make it to level 7. And immediately as you guys all begin to steer and come up, the bartender quickly goes to y'all's doors, knocks and says, Inquisitor Lunarius would like to speak to all of you as soon as you're awake. So, yeah, that's the message. Good luck. And he goes away after that.
Oh, judging by that reaction, he is royally pissed. Still.
Galark, are you gonna stay in the library or are you gonna come out at some point?
Galark is going to stay in the library. He doesn't know, and he just wants to learn.
Okay.
Hide, more like.
Learn!
Hide.
Porque ela faz.
You say learn. I hear. Hide like a scared little bitch.
I mean, same, but whatever.
Fucking two of you.
You'd be fine. It's fine. Fine.
It's fine.
Oh yeah,
it's totally fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's
I
fine.
mean, Galark doesn't
Ooh,
even
that's
know, so like.
As you guys come down to the tavern, there's an open door now that was previously closed that leads into a large sitting room. Sitting in there is Lunarius in these very fine blue robes. Randolph with his metal arm detached and sitting on the table being repaired by Infernus. Stephen is reading a book, and there are 2 accompanying mages sitting with them. There are seats enough for the 6 of you that are there, as well as 1 for Galark, who is not with you.
I shall nod my head at Lunarius, and I'll go to the 3 paladins and check in with them, see if they're doing okay.
Stephen is fine, but you notice his left eye has a burned cut right across it, and the pupil is now completely white.
Ooh. I thought I healed that.
He looks up and is like, "You tried."
Well, I suppose there are only some wounds that only the gods can heal.
He just gives you a quick smile and returns to his book while waiting for Lunarius to begin the meeting. Randolph is a little more apprehensive as his arm is currently on the table being repaired, and he just looks annoyed at the whole situation. Infernus is extremely annoyed just having to fix an arm instead of going out and finding whoever did this. The 2 mages across the table, 1 in green robes and 1 in black and gold robes, are sitting there discussing just the topics of the day, like what brings these travelers here? Are any of them academics? Do they have any secrets from the outside world? Is there anything they can show, deposit to the library to give us more information? That kind of thing. They're just talking, waiting for Lunarius.
I hope there's tea.
There is tea. There is tea. There are no cakes. Bertrand is not the
Scones?
best at baking, so he's brought out.
Things to dip into the tea?
He just has tea right now. He's
Nothing
looking
sugar?
for somebody who can. He's looking for somebody who can cook.
Ah, no milk and sugar then.
No, just tea.
I detest tea.
As you all come in, find seats. Panther Lily tries to find a spot to like lay down, but Panther Lily is much larger than she used to be, and is having a hard time finding a spot to lay down.
Just,
My baby.
Just sit in Aligor's lap.
The cat is literally 3
fine.
times Aligor's size.
Yes, and
And if I die that way, it's fine.
All right then.
cats and dogs always believe that they're still kittens, especially the oversized ones.
Yeah.
Still kittens and pups.
And if that's how I go, that's how I go.
Better death by Panther Lily crushing out of love than Linarius out of rage.
If you lose my controllers while you're at your dad's house, I will behead you before you walk through this door.
Oh my.
Okay. Love you. Goodbye.
For legal reasons, that was a joke.
It was a joke, but it's always great to terrorize my children.
God.
Actual facts.
Have
But
fun paying
anywho.
for therapy.
Ha.
Linarius waits for you guys to all take your seats, and then he places a mask on the table. This mask has green dragon scales across it, comes out to a point like a snout. One of the eye holes is like a large circle open for the person to see through.
Wasn't that the mask that one of the archmages wore?
It is similar. The one the Archmage wore was black.
Ah,
Aligor just kind of like holds up his hand, like waiting to be called on.
Lunarius like glances over to you, and his firm demeanor kind of softens for a moment. Yes, Master Dwarf.
I have a question.
And that would be?
What's that?
I'm getting to it.
So like, what is it?
One of the mages perks up and is like, is that one of the dragon cult masks? It's rumored to be able to control dragons. Lunarius kind of like just rubs his eyes. Yes, Mordekainen, that's exactly what this is. Would you sit down? I'll explain in a moment.
not the Martin Kind.
What?
You don't know that.
Oh dear.
What the, okay.
They are archmages.
But Daddy Dragon, can you tell us exactly what it is?
Oh no! Don't start that, please. No, he's already mad enough.
Lunarius kind of just stretches and sits up. He's like, all right. Can everybody just be quiet for 5 minutes so I can speak and get this over with, and then you can ask questions. Deal?
Is a tall
Fine.
order for Aligor.
Everything's a tall order for me.
He sets the mask down, sets down a dagger, and then sets down this strange crown that looks like it should have jewels embedded in certain spots. And in one of the spots is a red dragon head just peeking out. Sets them on the table. These are artifacts my paladins recovered from a recent raid of a Cult of the Dragon stronghold far to the south of here in the Kingdom of All. This item, and he points to the mask, should have been destroyed centuries ago. It appears to have been recreated. The terrifying part is it has the same properties, which I didn't think was possible. Points to the crown. This I don't know what this is, but it having a chromatic dragon ornamental piece bothers me. And then he points to the dagger. This is the most annoying part. And he takes it and he holds it in his hand, and you can see it literally burning his hand as he's holding it.
Oh my.
This damages dragons exponentially. This is one of an entire cache we found.
Gross.
I don't think the cult of
Can I touch
dragons
it?
are actually worshipping dragons. Randolph kind of just shushes you as Linarius is still speaking. I don't think the cult of dragons actually worship dragons or Tiamat like I originally believed. I think they're killing dragons to bring them back as Draco Liches under their control.
Clifford, no.
Give me 1 second. What? No, she
Yeah.
doesn't. Of course she does.
The Daughter of Destruction. The smaller Silvr.
Give me 1 second.
Cute.
Okay, we're back. Okay, we're back.
Yay!
Okay. Where was I? What was I saying?
Something about the dragon cults not actually worshipping dragons, but killing dragons.
That'll work. Linarius then looks to everyone at the table for input.
Well, that's certainly bad.
I know some of you had meetings with King Lupin in Baldur's Gate, and others of you have been researching dragons for... How old are you again, Bornakainen? Doesn't even matter.
Huh?
What do you know about this situation here?
Within Candlekeep? Not much, considering as we've just arrived.
Not Candlekeep pertaining to these. And he points to the items.
I reiterate, not much.
He looks over to the mage in green. What about you, Fizbin? You've been researching dragons for God knows how long now. Well,
We're just dropping all the names.
Candlekeep is literally their hideaway. That is like my favorite part about Candlekeep. Fizbin looks and is like, well, the dagger, that's an easy charm to reproduce. I mean, it takes time, takes dragon scales. But I mean, one ancient dragon slain would provide enough for probably 100 daggers of that size. The daggers, that's easy. The mask, reproducing the mask, however, that requires the soul of an actual an old dragon, like, not to call you old, Lunarius, but, well. Lunarius just nods, kind of rubbing his temple. Looks like this dragon literally has a headache from this whole situation. The crown I've never seen. That's new. Honestly, if I wasn't detecting some kind of magic from it, I would just say it's an ornamental piece, but that definitely has an enchantment on it of some kind. Has anyone identified it? And Steven perks up and just shakes his head. I tried. The enchantment on it is too powerful for my skills.
Oh.
Fucking Steven.
Antagonistic dwarves shall be quiet.
Fizbin looks at it and is like, it'll take me a few minutes, possibly a few hours, but I could more than likely identify it. Lunarius just nods and pushes the crown toward him. Do what you can. See what we got. As for you group of I don't even want to call you adventurers, but you're not criminals anymore, so adventurers is the best title I have for you. You were sent here to look for what exactly? Why were you sent to Candlekeep?
We were sent to investigate possible rumors of the dragon cult lurking either inside the walls of Candlekeep or around Candlekeep.
Mordekainen's eyes kind of flicker for a moment and like looks around. He's like, well, I can assure you no one in here is anybody new except for you all. So if the dragon cult has a foothold within these walls, then they've been here a very long time.
Yes, we had asked around in the inn last night, and apparently you weren't affected by the storm or the sudden wintry onslaught that the Great White Dragon brought with it.
Ah, yes, one of my most prized abilities. turning
Yes,
this
it's very
whole
impressive.
city, turning this whole keep into my personal sanctuary. It's such a lovely task. Took me damn near 2 centuries to do it.
Impressive within the time constraints.
That's it is. We are completely unaffected by anything of the outside world. And to break the spell takes... And he looks over to Lunarius. A spellcaster of draconic nature.
I feel like you shouldn't tell strangers that.
Well, I haven't met strangers with that kind of ability.
Fair, I suppose. But anyway, back to the original question. Again, we were sent to investigate rumors of cultists nearby Candlekeep, if not within the walls. And we had just reached, or at least come within sight of the Candlekeep Forest, when we witnessed the battle between the Great White Dragon and Rygor and Zane. From a vast distance, mind you.
Mordekainen's ears peek up for a second. He's like, I'm sorry, did you say Rygor?
I did say Rygor, yes. He nearly killed me, you know?
He's still alive.
Yes. Not for lack of trying, mind
That
you.
son of a bitch.
I agree
I'd-
with that statement.
I swear I had sent him off to a demiplane to be destroyed.
Well, apparently he got loose. Or was freed. I
See-
don't know which is worse.
See, now I'm invested in this story. And Mordekainen kind of pulls up his chair, pours some tea, and you see him just snap his fingers as sugar, milk, and lemon are brought out for the tea.
Now,
Oh, would anyone else like some?
thank you, but no, I detest the stuff. Far too bitter. I don't
Suit
see any
yourself.
sugar. Anyway, back to the tale. As much as a tale can be within 24 hours. Anyway, again, we'd simply gotten within sight of the Candlekeep Forest. We honestly only saw magic being cast at a great white dragon. We did not know who exactly was engaging. However, considering the rumors so that we were told and our mission, we opted to send our stealthiest member, Zenneth, to investigate once we got inside the forest.
I guess we're not going to tell us when Dad gets here.
I don't know. Go away. I'm in D&D.
That threw me off.
Sorry.
No problem. Surprise children. Anyway, where was I? Yes, we'd send our stealthiest member to investigate. I believe it took them about 5 minutes or so to reach the site of the battle. Well, where after they reported that it was indeed the cultist that had slain the dragon, and we're in the process of skinning the beast, whilst Zane, I believe, was beginning to perform a ritual, and had pulled out a very, very large diamond.
Zen is just nodding, confirming this.
At which point, I believe Zen had called for reinforcements. Your reinforcements, my lord. I gesture at Lunarius, and I believe they were about to actually engage and distract against your orders, but was stopped by Randolph and his party.
Randolph kind of like takes his arm off the table and reattaches it real quick and looks over at Zan, looks over at the party. All of this is true. We were keeping an eye on the cultists. We let them kill the white dragon. Honestly, we would have killed it if they hadn't. But once they started performing the ritual, we moved in closer to try and stop the ritual. That's when Zan got our attention. It cost us a few seconds and forced me to use more desperate measures than I was initially planning on using. It's not their fault, but I did lose 2 very good paladins yesterday.
And I am very sorry for your loss.
Lunarius sits up and it's like, did you guys gather any clues as to where the cultist slayer might be? They had to have come from somewhere. They couldn't have just magically appeared in Candlekeep Forest. There's entirely too many wards around the citadel.
Again, we'd only just arrived. Well, we had no time to investigate. They were attacking a dragon. We investigated. Zen investigated. Zen reported back. We were going to Candlekeep to make our escape when we saw a spell of massive destruction annihilate part of the forest. And as we were passing by the battle site on the road, we had seen the pallet party, your Randolph's group, missing 2 members, and very, very hurt. And at which point, Galark, in a admittedly foolish and reckless fit of heroics, opted to rush to your aid. I believe he had healed one of you, I'm not sure which. Enough to get them back up and attempted to provide further aid. I had chased after him to bring him back to the cart, asking as how the last engagement of ours with Rygor and Zane ended very badly for many of us, myself included, to make our escape towards Candlekeep. Our resident, not dead, not living, I don't know what he is, summoned reinforcements through a special horn to provide further distraction for your lordship, your inquisitorialness, to arrive, which he had nearly landed on us and crushed us as we were fleeing the scene. At which point you know what happened, as you were there.
Infernus looks up and says, I do thank you for healing us and giving me the opportunity to give Randolph the moment to sneak attack. But what you did was extremely foolish. I hate to tell you this, but you guys are not nearly as skilled as the 5 of us were. And to be quite frank, if I had not put that wall of fire up to block their vision of you, you all would have been killed instantaneously.
Of that I have little doubt. I am only just a few years into my own knightship, into my own knighthood.
Steven looks up and is like, Lunarius, to answer your question, I have theories of 3 potential places where their hideout is. One of which I'm now vaguely determined is actually the White Dragon's previous lair. Lunarius looks and is like, do you have a map or anything you can show us where these locations are? Steven pulls out of his bag of holding a large map and rolls it out, and you see the entirety of Candlekeep Forest, and the surrounding flatlands. Well, right here on the coast is where we initially saw the White Dragon fly out of. And the weirder part is, the cold didn't originate in the forest like we initially thought. It originates from this cave. I do believe this is a lair, and I do believe... Well, the dragon we were tracking was female. I can't guarantee anything, but I'm willing to bet there are wormlings waiting for their mother to return who's not going to now.
Move.
Anyway, down here toward the southern part of the forest, there is a structure standing tall over the tree line. I do believe Fizbin referred to it as a previous dragon altar to Tamara. Lunaris kind of nods. Yes, Tamara did have a shrine down this far. But that place has been abandoned and damn near destroyed for nearly 2 centuries. Actually would be a good place to hide cult activity. Okay. And where's this third location you were speaking of? He kind of shuffles the map around and points to a large outcropping in the middle of Flatlands. There are a handful of magic circles here. They are just there. I didn't sense anything. There's no magic residue from them. They're just there. I don't know if they need to be activated or what, but it was entirely too suspicious for me not to think that it could be a possibility. Lunaris kind of sits back and thinks for a moment. I understand where you're coming from, and you're probably right. That is it's better than nothing. I'm going to head back to Neverwinter and collect a few more troops. I will be back sometime tomorrow. At that time, the paladins will go and scout out the magic circles. As for the 7 of you, well, 6 present company, I trust one of you to tell the Half-Orc. I want you to check out Tamara's old shrine. Personally, I don't think there will be anything there, but if there is, the 7 of you should be able to handle it well enough.
Well, I will certainly pray to Lathander that there will be nothing eventful at hand. Light forbid that those two are there as they shop again.
Randolph perks up. Sir, what about the dragon's nest? How do you want us to handle that situation? Lunarius reaches back and pulls his greatsword out and looks at it and is like, I think I'm going hunting tonight. Puts it back. Is there any questions these 6 of you would like to ask me before this meeting is adjourned? Or of Mordekainen?
Just one. Are you the Mordekainen? As in the Mordekainen?
See, now that is a very curious question. The answer is simply yes and no. I am what is known as a simulacrum. I am a clone of Mordekainen. The real Mordekainen is indisposed at the moment. He left behind a number of spell scrolls for me to continue his work. I was expecting him back a while ago, but what's 300 years?
There's quite a bit to unpack there. I suppose that answers my question. I thank you.
Can we get food? I'm hungry.
Randolph kind of chuckles and is like, "You're dismissed, Aligor. You can go get food."
Thanks. I'm gonna go wander around and look at shit.
I've only traveled with that dwarf for a few odd weeks, and yet I'm surprised he stayed just quite as long as he did.
Randolph's just nodding. He's like, "Yep."
Have the attention span of a gnat.
I think gnats have a longer attention spans than Aligor.
Probably.
Lunaria stands up and looks at the group. Please, try not to get in any more trouble.
No
And-
promises.
Again, I've traveled with this group only for a short while, and I know that is a tall order for them.
Just for 2 days. 2 days. That's all I'm asking. He steps
No
outside.
promises.
He steps outside and looks at Infernus. Infernus, you're coming with me. I might need your firepower.
Hot.
You
Infer-
gone. You get food.
Yeah, Infernus stands up, and you can now see that he's a fire genasi, and like flames shouldn't affect him. He has burn marks all over his back where he got hit by Rygor a few times.
I mean, there's acid burns, freezer burns, fire burns, magical burns, so I'm not surprised.
He looks rough, and he's not completely thrilled about it.
Ew.
Lunarius turns right before he exits the room and is like, Randolph, you stay here and rest up. You look like you need it. Steven just looks up and is like, what am I doing? You're assisting the wizards, as usual. Yes, sir.
Well, at least he didn't blame us any further. Didn't quite sit right with me that he had blamed us when we hadn't actually engaged to begin with. But that's neither here nor there.
Randolph looks over and is like, he's calmed down since last night. He was livid when he was yelling at us.
Oh, you have my sympathies.
Randolph kind of picks up a glass and drinks the tea. Alright, before you guys attempt to fight the cult anymore, I'm taking you all to the library. You all need to read a few things about them before you guys get in over your head again.
That definitely seems wise.
Mordecai the simulacrum Mordecai produces a few notes and hands them over. These will get you into the library for 24 hours.
Oh. We need 24-hour passes for the library. Explain.
The library is... Randolph's trying to explain and Mordecai cuts him off. The library is another one of my sanctuaries. Well, not just mine. Fizbin, Lathander, and Corm have helped me create these.
Oh.
The library is, I believe my predecessor called it the Magnificent Mansion, but in a permanent state.
Oh.
So to get in, you need permission.
Ah. Okay, clear on the permission, but why only 24 hours?
Well, it works like the spell. After 24 hours, the mansion resets, and everyone is ejected and needs to be brought back in with new permission. There were some flaws that we couldn't quite work out, but these are the fixes we came up with.
I imagine there's been many a disgruntled mage interrupted it through several periods of research.
Oh, so many.
Well, I suppose now that Lunaris is out of earshot, I admit I feel rather... I pity those white wormlings, if there are any. Not as if they asked to be brought into this world.
Yeah, Steven and Randolph both take a drink. They're just like, yep. Those little creatures are fucked.
Poor things. Even if they one day grew to be massive city killers, still, everything was innocent once, I suppose.
Well, the
some
act
way.
of killing them is definitely going to be gruesome. But Lunaris is, if Lunaris is anything, he is merciful. He's doing these dragons a service. Or at least that's what he'll believe.
Perhaps. Well, that's not for me to judge.
He looks at Steven. Come on, Steven. We're gonna go take them up to the library. I think Galark is still in there.
Well, he certainly did not come back to the inn last night, so I can only imagine he found a seat to curl up on. Which, now that I think about it, is a rather amusing image.
You guys pass Aligor having breakfast at one of the large wooden tables as this potly man just brings out meat and meat, beer, and a few vegetables, but not very many. Mainly a lot of meat is put on the table.
Huh.
Yay!
Aligor, you want to come with us to look at some books?
Yes. I would love to look at books.
Well, no one said you had to read them.
Because I'm going to go look at books. Libraries are the most boring places that I can possibly think of to be.
I mean, it is a magic library. Perhaps there are some tomes that actually broadcast the words out into the open.
Kiki.
Yeah, I'm kind of...
Aligor is blind.
I know, I'm doing the top fit.
I'm good. I'm gonna sit here and eat my food and then go wander around for a little bit.
Sit yourself.
Mordecai and Simulacrum comes up and is like, well, Corm is developing a written language for blind people. I wonder if he's done with that yet. It's been 100 years.
Oh, goody.
100 years? I would have expected he'd be done by now.
He keeps changing it up every decade or so. Never satisfied.
Yeah. Well, an artist is never satisfied with one's work.
Do.
All right. Aligor stays back to eat all kinds of meat with Panther Lily and Clifford. You guys head.
I expected a inn run by mages to have more fruits and vegetables.
The inn is run by a potly fat man who likes his meat. It just happens to house a bunch of mages.
Fair enough.
You guys make it to the library door, and this elderly man in this gray cloak is just sitting in front, like reading over papers, and looks up. He's like, "Oh, do we have more visitors for the library? Whose permission do you have to enter?"
Mordenkainen's. I hand over the slip.
He looks at the slip, and in a quick motion, it burns in his hand, and a mark appears on your hand. All right, you have 24 hours.
I can do that. Thank you.
As you walk toward it, a door appears for just you, only within your vision, and you walk right through.
My word, this certainly puts the library at the Temple to shame.
Oh yeah, as you step in, it is a massive expanse of books, like larger than what was outside. You could see the shape of the building was just like this no, probably 30-foot radius tower. You can see books for miles. All of the knowledge of the world that has been kept within Candlekeep is within this magnificent mansion.
Oh, goodness. Many a mage would die to stay in these walls. Well, within these shelves, I suppose. Would be more accurate since there actually isn't a wall.
Yeah, it's just miles of books.
Miles and miles and...
And like the ceiling is 100 feet up of just walls of books.
Wang Shitong wishes he had this library.
100%. Who's next? Are Sporky and Doot coming in?
Yes.
Alright, Sporky, you hand over your piece of paper. Same thing happens. A mark of Mordecai appears on the back of your hand. You have 24 hours in the library.
Yay!
Next.
Dude, are you coming in?
Yeah. Sorry,
Yeah.
my mic went up.
Alright. You hand over your sheet, and same thing. On the back of your hand appears a symbol of Mordecai.
Okay.
As you walk in, you see this massive expanse of a library.
Okay. Stuff I can't read. Alright.
You can read. You have an intelligence higher than 5. You can read.
And also are not blind.
Let me see. Intelligence high as 5. Holy damn it. I'm a genius. I'm gonna go in this section.
Literally, it's 5 and lower. You are completely illiterate. 4 and lower, you cannot speak.
Yeah.
Presumably Zen and Nyx and Stephen and Randolph follow.
Yep, they all follow in. Steven kind of looks around and is like, you guys will immediately be ejected back to the front after 24 hours. And if you ever get lost, there are spiritual librarians wandering around that will help you find books or find the exit if you need to get out.
Okay, I go
How
up.
about Galark?
I'm sure one of the librarians has seen Galark around, so you could probably get them to lead you to him as well.
Alright, I go up to him. What do you guys want me to find?
Randolph kind of just steps over to one of the ghosts and is like, can you bring me the books on the cults of the dragon? There should be 3 tomes that you know I'm looking for. The ghost kind of
right.
just...
And
no, it's not you. The ghost nods and flies off. About 5 minutes later, 3 tomes appear on one of the shelves right in front of him, and he pulls them off. Doot. Look through these for a little while. They basically give you all the information we have on the Cult of the Dragons up to date to the last few weeks.
Alright, while Doot looks through those books, I would like to track down a librarian to track down Galark.
You see one spirit walking by that kind of looks like Mordecai and just a little less presentable. And yeah, you can stop him.
Excuse me. Pardon me. Hello.
It looks at you and nods.
Yes, we are looking for one of our fellows, a half-orc by the name of Galark. He entered the library less than 24 hours ago. Would you happen to know where he is and guide me to him?
The ghost kind of turns and then like puts his hand up and gives you the signal to follow and leads you down a few paths, 1 turn, 2 turns, 3 turns, and you find Galark with a book on their face laying on this cot, just like passed out asleep.
Well, okay then. Bit of a waste of the 24 hours, but I suppose one needs their sleep. Oi, wake up!
Huh? What?
Rise and
Uh,
shine,
what do you-
Sleeping Beauty.
Oh,
I
how'd
think
you
that
get
was
in?
words. We got permission. How else do you think we got in?
Yeah, that checks out.
You missed a rather tense, I suppose, meeting with Lunarius and the Paladins. Also, two of the Archmages.
Oh. Okay.
Ah, right. You could care less about Lunarius, huh?
Who?
Hmm. Playing that game, I say.
No.
Well, he is no longer as angry. He's calmed down, so and no longer blames us or you for the deaths of his paladins, which would be smarting at too if I were taking the brunt of that rage yesterday. Currently, we are here to look
Baby,
over.
turn that down or put your headphones.
Currently, we are looking into the dragon cult that has taken up residence nearby, and we actually have new marching orders for tomorrow. I think it was. DM, can you confirm?
Yeah, for tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow he'll be arriving with new paladins.
So for the next 24 hours or so, we are going to be sticking our noses into pages and books, with breaks for sleep and food, of course.
So basically what I've been doing all night.
Yes, however, how long have you been in here anyway?
Since we got here.
Okay, that's gonna be what, like
Roughly 12 hours.
Roughly 12 hours. Okay, so you still have got 12 hours.
I guess.
I wonder if there's a snack bar in the library.
You start thinking about snacks, and one of the servants comes up with like a platter of grapes and fruit.
Oh, yes, thank you.
This is a magnificent mansion. It does have food.
Very good point.
Galark is going to take an apple, stand up from the con, and be like, "So, where's everyone else?"
They're back towards the... I hesitate to call it the entrance because there's not exactly visible walls beyond the walls of bookshelves. Back towards the entrance, I suppose. They probably found some table to sit at. They're looking over some books now. There were only 3 books that Randolph wanted to look at anyway, so...
Oh, is Randolph here?
Randolph and Steven.
Oh, okay.
Can I get you two to both make a perception check real quick?
Perception? Okay. There's my dice.
Yeah, that's not a good one. It's 15.
Okay, I got a 21.
21. Rhiannon finds it first, or sees it first. Rover is not on Galark's shoulders anymore. Rover is curled up under the bench that she was sleeping on, and is now, instead of the size of like a small house cat, is roughly the size of a medium to large sized dog.
That's new.
What is?
Your dragon has increased in size exponentially.
Hmm? Oh. Come here, Rover.
Rover's head kind of like slinks up and looks up at you. Is like, what do you want? Sleeping.
And he talks now. Okay. That's a lot to have happened in 12 hours.
Kind of looks up at
Galark-
Rhiannon and is like, I am a dragon. I do understand speech. It's not a difficult task to learn.
Yes, many things can understand speech, but considering that I last saw you 12 hours ago and you could not speak is a bit of a surprise. So please forgive me for being surprised.
Oh, you're forgiven. And he lays back down.
Galark crouches under and just picks Rover up.
What's your strength? 12. Okay, yeah, it's easy. It's difficult. It's like he's a big boy now. He's just like.
I could lift him. I have a strength of 18. Like,
It's like
okay.
picking up a sleeping husky. It can be done. It's not difficult. It's just
Awkward.
they go dead weight.
Yep. A dead weight.
Well, I suppose traveling with you all, I should not be so surprised by much anymore, but yet still, I find reasons to be shocked and aghast.
Well, as it would turn out in my research, were you with us when we got the eggs?
I was not. That was long before I joined you all.
Okay, so when we got the eggs, we also got gems, and Galark is just going to be talking and walking. Walk and talk.
Yeah, we're walking. Okay, walking and talking. Okay, I'm following.
And we got gems that had souls of dragons in them. Well, as it turns out, when you break one of the gems, and if there's a dragon egg nearby, the soul will go into the egg.
Yeah, that's a nifty bit of reincarnation magic. However, alarming if the souls are, how do I put this? As does not have good intentions to begin with.
Well, at this point, Justice Rover, at this point, our ideals align. So, when it comes to Rover, we're good.
Ah,
Not too sure about Clifford.
Rover kind of wakes up and drops out of your arms and starts walking. It's like, oh, Rhiannon, to put your worries to rest, it'll be several hundred years before I'm large enough to actually do any real damage. So I'm more than comfortable to share my powers for now and just sit on the sidelines.
well, I suppose I'll be dead by then, so I have little to worry about.
Exactly. Don't worry about future generations' problems. That's their problem.
I don't like how that sounds. Oh, Lunaris is gonna be furious if he ever finds out.
Are you going to tell him?
Part of me says that it would be wise to. It would be prudent to nip a future problem in the bud, so to speak. No offense. And yet you are emotionally attached to Rover. I quite enjoyed Rover's company myself these last couple of weeks, and so I have developed an attachment. No, I will not tell Lunarius.
Well,
As
that's
a-
good.
As a point of reference, in your research, you've noticed that black dragons have certain horn and mouth shapes. River has a different kind of shape. Like, his horns actually like lean back more like a green dragon than a black dragon.
Kind of like a hybrid?
Kind of like a hybrid, yeah. So he's not going to stick out like a normal dragon. Lunarius might think you might be able to convince Lunarius that he's worth saving.
Okay, so green dragon skull wrapped it in a black dragon skin. Got it.
Pretty much. Just no mohawk. It doesn't have the mohawk. It just has like the green horns kind of like frilled back.
Gotcha.
That's good to know.
But rest assured, should Linares find out, I am getting out of the blast zone.
That's fine.
I'm just gonna let y'all know that blast zone is a 300-foot cone.
Gosh.
Well, with cones, you run towards and to the side. That's what I've learned from my game, from the similar games.
Yep, you go straight ahead and then juke 5 feet to the side and you're good.
So we make our way
Who
to
left?
everyone else.
We lost Aligor.
No.
Hey, I'll be back in a little bit.
There they are.
Sporky, what are you looking for?
I am
It's-
looking for a book of languages or scroll of languages or something with languages.
There is an entire section like just
Languages.
dedicated to every language ever that Mordecai
long as
that the Archmages know of.
So, probably not many languages. Fledgling
It is-
languages, maybe.
It is every language that is in 5th edition, essentially. The ancient language is like the original Draconic and original Primordial. Those are lost to the ages.
Such a shame.
Is there a librarian / helper around in here?
Oh yeah, there's ghosts floating around. Some look like Fizbin, some look like Mordekainen.
Others look like other archmages.
Pretty much.
Presumably.
Any
I asked
archmage that had a hand in creating this space, they have their likeness within the library somewhere.
I wonder if Tasha visited.
You very rarely see a Tasha ghost flow by, but they are there.
I asked one of the ghosts that I asked him, I say, hey, I need to learn a language really quick. How do I do that?
One of them points to a book on the wall. They can't speak.
Yeah, I know, but okay, so I look at the book.
There are books on languages. You just have to read.
But I can't read the language that I need.
They are written in common. Like the libraries, these books are written in common. Just to teach, they have the translations written in common, so everybody could read them. The idea of Candlekeep is to share the knowledge, but also keep it safe.
Yeah, it's like, okay, share the knowledge and yet need permission.
But I need to
And not only
learn
to
the
get into
language so I
language.
can speak it, and I don't think I can do that in 24 hours, can I?
Oh no. That is 7 day. It is 7 days with a trainer. If you're doing it in a book, it's like a month.
I mean, there's a spell. So technically, if you have access to comprehend languages, you can just take a long rest and prepare it as a druid. Cast it as a ritual, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Can I do that?
I mean, you did just complete a long rest, so if you wanted to change any of your spells for the day, that's when you would have done it.
Just double checking.
Okay, I am. What am I gonna? I don't.
Comprehend languages. Oh wait, it's available for bards, sorcerer, warlocks, and wizard.
Oh, yeah, then druids can learn it.
Could have sworn.
I think certain druids can learn it.
Yeah.
I think it's like a bonus for like depending on which
Oh, yeah, one of the circles.
depending on which circle you take, yeah. And he's a forest druid, so
Oh, no. To put it mildly, no.
Oh, Galark has comprehend languages.
I don't think you can cast it on another person though.
True.
So if you wanted to talk to one of the mages within Candlekeep and have them train you in a language, you can spend 7 days doing that. And you would gain proficiency in that language.
we don't have 7 days here, do we?
Not
Now
really.
We have 24 hours, and then after that, who knows?
Huh. Okay. I do want to look at the book, even though, because it's going to be in common. I do want to look at the book of Undercommon.
You notice that the languages are super similar. It's kind of like comparing British English to English in Mississippi. You have the proper English, and then you have some kind of backwater trash.
Okay, so not just Mississippi English, but
Most of southern United States.
Appalachian English.
Most of the southern United States, yes.
You've got English,
And
and
if
then
you-
you got
and
the
if you live in
Bayou.
Yeah. And if you live in the southern United States, I am so sorry.
I live in the southern United States, so I'm not. I will talk trash
Okay,
about
then.
y'all.
Okay, then. Then
the
don't mind
the
the
southern,
yank.
yeah, the southern United States, where they say, "I want you to meet my wife and my sister," and there's one woman standing there.
It's a little further west, but yes, basically.
Sweet home Alabama. Okay, anyway, reading Undercommon book.
Yeah, I'm just gonna read the Undercommon for a little bit.
Okay.
Try to
It
get
will give
a
you
little
a
bit proficient on my own.
if you want to learn a phrase, like just learn enough to say your prayer that you need, or the questions you need to ask, learn enough to get that. That would take you about 12 to 14 hours to practice and get used to. With a certain intelligence check. We'll see how it goes.
Okay. I'll do that because I'm cool.
Okay. So go ahead and roll me an intelligence check.
Doot, doot, doot. 17 plus 3.
Okay, so that's a 20. You do learn your question in Undercommon within that 12 hours.
Okay. Sweet.
Pronunciation's gonna be butchered all hell, though. I'd wager.
I don't like going in the down south. How y'all are? What?
Unless it does have a pronunciation guide, which should be beneficial.
It's gonna be great. Yeah, you are able to find a pronunciation guide that helps you, and like between your research of figuring out the question and how to pronounce it, you managed to figure out how to properly ask this question.
Okay.
So we'll get to that in a little bit.
Right, not a problem. Okay.
Galark.
Yes.
Last night, before you fell asleep, the book you were actually had over your eyes was a history of the goddess dragon Kareska.
Okay.
You finally get a actual visualization of what she should look like, which her physical avatar form was that of a topaz dragon.
Oh, jeez.
Yes. Don't ask me why their wings are backwards, but they are, and I don't understand it. I don't like it, but they are.
Okay.
Seriously, look up topaz. Like, you guys have content sharing, you can see the topaz dragon. Just look at the picture. I don't like it.
I don't want it. So when we get back to everybody, is Steve still there?
Steven is sitting with a couple books. He's literally got 4 books open. His eyes are white from using comprehend languages, and he is reading 4 books simultaneously, trying to gather up as much information as possible.
Okay. Galark is going to go check on Steve.
You see him reading, and he kind of glances up to you and is like, "Oh, there you are, Galark. You missed our meeting."
So I've heard. How are you? You were unconscious.
I feel like shit, but I'm okay.
That's good. So what are you reading?
This is the history of the dragon cults. This is a history of Tiamat. This is a history of Bahamut. And this one is a novel about the sexual habits of dragons. I'm pretty sure this belongs in a fiction section.
Is there something you want to tell me, Steve?
I was trying to figure out a way to kill dragon eggs quicker than, smashing them. But I clearly picked up something far different.
Sure, we'll go with that, Steve. Do you need help on which one's the Tiamat and the Cultist Book? I read one, you read the other?
No, I've actually just finished the Cultist Book and he hands it over if you want to take a gander at it. It's just basic cult members that we've arrested and those who have died. It's not any new information that I don't already know. This Tiamat book, however, is interesting because there's kind of a correlation between the two books. It's a small one and possibly just an oversight, but still interesting. I'm gonna go look into it later.
Does Galark know who Tiamat is?
Yes? Yeah, you saw the statue of Tiamat at, like, session 2.
Right.
When everybody was freaking the fuck out.
Oh yeah, the statue down in the basement. That was Tiamat, right?
That was a supposed former avatar of the five-headed dragon goddess. But, according to this book, that was just a golem created by a archwizard to scare people away. So it was actually harmless. We wasted resources and lost a very innocent tiefling for nothing. That sucks.
Yeah. Tell me about it. It's really strange, especially after the dream I had about that Tiamat.
Steve stops for a moment, looks up at you. What dream?
No. I never told you about...
Not me.
Yeah. When I was in the cell, I had a dream and the most of the party that were in the cell too, they were in the dream too. We were fighting a Tiamat, doing pretty okay for a while, but we were completely destroyed.
He looks over to Zen and Nyx. Do you two know about this dream? They both kind of nod and continue reading their books. That is interesting. Did you tell Lunarius about this? Or Randolph? Or anyone else?
Only you.
That's interesting. I'll get back to you on that. We might need to discuss this more.
Oh, did Galark notice the scar on his
Oh yeah,
the eye?
yeah. You definitely noticed that.
Galark's going to reach out and just casually touch it and cast Lesser Restoration on it.
Lesser restoration don't work on scars.
Much as we wanted to. It does clear up the cloudiness in his eye to where now there's a little bit of color, but there is no light in his eye. He's blind in that eye.
That Lesser Restoration.
Not blinded, blind.
Yeah, it cures blindness like in a magical sense, but natural blindness, like the eye has ceased to function.
How dare you?
Just teasing Aligor there now.
I want eyeballs.
when Galark just touches the side of his eyes, he's like, was that from when you were unconscious?
Before I went unconscious, Rygor got a very clean cut in my eye. I can't see anything out of it. I haven't been able to all day.
I've been on the receiving end of that sword myself, and it is not a picnic.
No, that hurt that. I never expected a wizard to be that skilled with a blade. Especially one of his size.
I'll keep that in mind.
Bring size
Just for
into it
clarification-
now.
Just for clarification, how tall is Rygor?
Rygor is a Goliath. He is like 7'5".
Right.
It's like a lion.
He's a Goliath.
Yeah, I was. Oh. With that in context, so my fight with him must have been like a gnat on a cow.
Yeah, you really weren't much on him. You were trying because you were both flying around each other. He was still, you tried, but he was just more skilled with the blade.
Yeah.
Buzz, bitch.
What, like 13 levels higher?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Jesus. Yeah, Galark is gonna help read the books that Doot has if he can see Doot.
What books?
What books? I don't have no books.
Books? What are books?
I do not know. I think there's something you can eat.
Me? Eat?
That's how you gain knowledge, right? You eat the books.
No.
I mean, I think that's how it works.
That's definitely how it works.
Looking for books.
Definitely how it works.
Smithing. Anything.
The books you find are the books that were handed to you are typical battle formations and effective ways to combat the Cult of the Dragon that they found so far, including how to fight Dracoliches.
I don't need this. Pointy tip goes into the bad guy. The end.
Yeah.
As you say that, Randolph kind of peeks over your shoulder. He's like, no, look at this part. And it literally says under Dracoliches, sharp, slashing and piercing damage proved to be very ineffective against them.
Ha ha! I can punch him to death. Ha ha!
Oh my god.
Randolph kind of just like,
Then it says bludgeoning damage.
doesn't say much. Yeah, bludgeoning damage works on, skeletal dragons.
Oh, all right.
I digress. Let me read it.
Do get to anything.
Fine, let me read it. Let me humor you. Maybe I'll learn something.
Randolph is kind of like picking up books and looking for things. He's like, there have got to be, and you hear him mumbling something about more great worms, like maybe getting help from one of Lunarius's friends who are old enough to understand it. He's looking for information on the great worm dragons.
Great worm dragons. Okay, I'll go be looking for that. This formation book thinks it knows everything.
He does pull off one book that looks very ancient, and he opens it up and he stops for a moment and continues reading, and actually is surprised. This is the book of history prior to Lunarius. Essentially the history of when Io created Faerun and I can't remember the name of this fucking planet. I know the name of this planet. I cannot remember it. God fucking damn it, I'm gonna have to Google it.
Think, motherfucker, think.
Toril. That's what it is. Toril.
Toril.
Back to the creation of Toril, where the first dragons came from, the war with the primordials. As he's flipping through it, trying to find information, he gets to the part where Bahamut and Tiamat are created. flips a little bit further past that to the birth of the first 15 dragons. Literally created from the cooperation of Tiamat and Bahamut to create the draconic race. This is one telling of it anyway.
I think that's the same thing Galark read from his other book.
It is a similar story, just a little different. Your story only told of the chromatics and the metallics. This one speaks of the gem dragons as well. Of the first 15, only 11 survived. The first black dragon, the first red dragon, the first gold dragon, and the first sapphire dragon were all killed by Tiamat when she decided she wanted to be queen of the world. The other 11 helped Bahamut contain his sister. Among those 11 were Lunarius, a topaz dragon known as Koreska, a white dragon known as Ego, and a blue dragon known as Cormac. Those are the only dragons that are named in this book. Flipping a little bit further, and because now his curiosity is piqued, he gets to the part of the last 500 or so years, where Lunarius had been asleep for the better part of a millennium, and finally woke back up to just before the Spellplague and the destruction of Dragoniri, where Tiamat decided to try and take over the plane of Dragoniri and had it destroyed completely, with Koreska, Ego, and Cormag, who had ascended to draconic godhood themselves, were destroyed by Tiamat's folly, and Tiamat was sealed within Avernus after Bahamut made a deal with Asmodeus to keep his sister locked away. That is that telling of the story. And now Randolph has questions.
Oh dear.
Do you guys have questions for Randolph? Because he tells you exactly what he found.
Yeah, this book didn't tell me shit. I'm still pissed off at the book. I'm sorry.
You're good.
Of course you are.
I mean, I read it and I'm like, you can't poke everything.
It's like stabbing usually doesn't work on everything. Some things are resistant to stabbing, especially if they don't have flesh.
Thank God for bludgeoning.
You gotta have a little more skill when it goes to putting things inside other things.
Yeah, like, you know, disrupting an order. Yeah. I'm never letting that go, by the way.
All right.
Okay. I think of us, we're just reading and getting information.
Pretty much. So if you guys just want to spend the night until Sporky realizes that he can talk to Lilith again, or Loth again.
Is it too late for me to look for stuff on smithing?
Oh no, you can find a book on smithing. Again, if you want to become proficient in smithing, you need a trainer for 7 days. If you want to do it just from a book, that's going to take you 30 days.
Oh, it's fine. I got an idea for the trainer, but yeah, I just want to read the book.
Yeah, there's a book. It goes through the processes of heating the metals and different ways of casting blades, armor, all the way from drawing it out of a metal blank to just pouring liquid metal into a cast and creating it that way. The cast is less reliable and breaks far easier, but is much quicker. Easier way to mass produce weapons.
Nice.
This is just basic information.
Good.
Okay.
Once we go out, I'll look for a trainer and I'll talk to him. We'll get to that later.
Gotcha.
Trust.
So,
it's gonna be good.
Sporky,
Yay!
would you like to talk to your goddess?
I would.
Okay. You will not be able to do it within the mansion. You actually have to exit to do this.
I already know that. That would be bad.
Well, there's just certain protections on the Magnificent Mansion. All right, so you
That's
step.
not fun.
It helps certain unwanted deities from spying on party members.
Gee, I wonder who.
I do not know.
Okay.
Indeed, I wonder.
After your 12 hours is up, it's getting close to the time where you guys would need to rest again. Aligor has been bored out of his mind all day because all he's been doing is eating, feeding Panther Lily, and waiting for you guys to get out of the library.
And the worst thing to have on hand is a bored Aligor.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there's gonna be I'm sure you guys are coming back to a bar fight. We'll discuss that in a moment. We're gonna do Sporky first though.
First of all, fuck you. Second,
Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
who says I'm still in the bar?
Oh no!
You've probably dragged it out to the street by now.
Like I said, we'll get to that in a moment. We're gonna do Sporky's ritual first. You do find a space within Candlekeep that is reserved for religious practices, and it seems fairly open to everybody. There is even a drawer you can find that has holy symbols of different deities. One of them being Lolth. So you go and set yourself up on an altar just to do a quick prayer. No super fancy ritual. What is your question you would like to ask the goddess?
What is my amulet doing? It's growing, and I don't understand why.
A moment goes by, and you hear back in common. Well, there you are. I was wondering where you had went. Your amulet is changing for the better. Protection was necessary for a time, but unfortunately my powers are waning because of a certain rival of mine. So I can't protect you at all times. I would rather give you a gift, if you're willing to accept it.
Anything, my queen.
You feel this embrace of 8 arms like wrapping around you and hugging you, and your necklace begins to glow brighter a little bit. As the embrace ends, you lose the connection to Lolth. Your amulet is now a full spider, and the 8 arms are wrapped around your torso. Like they have gone 2 arms up around your shoulders, 2 arms down and around your waistline, and connecting in the back. I have to finish making this magic item, but what it essentially does is it gives you a minimum AC of 16. Your AC cannot be lowered magically below 16.
Good for you. Constant bark skin is up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but now I look like a spider, which is even cooler.
Our definitions of cool are very different.
Okay. Aligor!
What shenanigans has the dwarf gotten up to?
Your friends left you 12 hours ago to just sit in a bar and eat. What are you doing?
Anyone home?
Aligor, put your headset down.
Ah, shit. Sorry. No, my small child was talking to me.
Ah.
Anyways, it's my turn?
It's your turn.
It's your turn.
What did you get to
It's
into
my
the?
turn.
Yep. What did you get to into in the last 12 hours?
I totally did not start a fight and or go wandering around and getting into things that I probably should not have been getting into.
I'll believe that for all of 2 seconds.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I just want to know.
perfectly-
I just want to know if you went to punch a mage or if you went to punch a guard.
It may have been a guard.
Okay.
Possibly. He was looking at me weird.
I believe that.
I could feel it.
Does anyone have the business card for Ace Attorney Bardo?
Oh shit. Okay. The guard who was looking at you funny had business looking at you funny. He was told to keep an eye on you. Just in case things went bad. You come up and punch the captain of the guard.
Oh.
Good. He deserves it. I don't need a fucking babysitter.
So he takes the punch and looks down at you and is like, look here, I was told by somebody way more important than you and a lot scarier to just keep an eye on you. I'm just keeping an eye on you. You can do whatever you want, just don't steal shit. You go to swing again and he catches your hand and is like, stop punching me.
Yeah, nope.
Are you gonna keep punching him?
Yep.
Okay. That is a... Yeah, he punches you back.
And
Well, that's a 20 to hit, and his modifier is a +3 for 4 points of bludgeoning damage. Just like clean across the jaw.
you hit like a bitch.
It's like, no, I hit a bitch. There's a difference.
Funny, I don't
them
see your mother
fighting
here.
words. Oh, we're going all out.
Here we go.
Two of the
Here's
mages,
a shed and
two of the
blood
mages
spills.
see this going on and kind of like just pull up conjured chairs and sit down and are like munching on berries, watching the fight between a dwarf and a city
Are they
guard.
food berries?
We're still in the
everyone-
library, right?
Could be. You guys are still in the library. You guys are still in the library. You guys have no idea what's going on. There is just a straight up street brawl going on where two wizards are just kind of like munching on berries, like watching this fight.
What
Wait,
the
is this
captain's card?
before Galark's 24 hours are up or after?
Before. This is like probably
Okay.
4. This is probably like 4 hours into you guys being in the library.
Okay.
Wow, Aligor lasted longer than I thought.
And now Panther Lily is jumping in and is like biting at the leg of this guard, and the guard's like, "What the fuck is this? Oh, told this tiger to come in here." And Clifford is just on the shoulder of Aligor, like chuckling.
So, how tall is the guard, by the by?
About 6 foot.
And how tall is Aligor?
5 foot.
Oh, that's hilarious. The captain, a 6'5" captain of the guard, and had his ass handed to him by a 5-foot dwarf.
Yeah,
Yep.
because Aligor's straight up. What are you doing after he punches you and you punch back? Are you getting him out of the bar and into the streets, or what are you doing?
Out of the bar into the streets.
All right, you tackle him through the door, and you guys are like rolling in the ground, punching each other. I'd say over the next like 30 seconds, he does maybe 15 points of damage to you, and you do similar, like 20 points of damage with your strength modifier. You're just a little bit stronger than he is. By the time all this happens, you hear something. You don't see anything because you're blind and this is in the air. You hear the wing beats of something fairly large, but definitely not Lunaria's size.
Uh-oh.
The captain of the guard, you feel the captain of the guard's attention shift from you to like what's above him. And you hear and feel the landing of two four-legged creatures, long, slender bodies with giant wings, and two riders dismounting. If you're quite done, two of his guards have arrived now on their Dragneel.
Oh, yippee doo-dah for them.
Yeah, they quickly pull you off and get the captain back to their feet, and it's just like, okay, what happened? Captain, why are you fighting a dwarf and losing? Captain just kind of like stays silent, spits some blood out onto the ground. Looks over at one of the Dragneel riders and is like, look, Eros, I need you to, you're in charge of watching that dwarf. Lunarius ordered, keep an eye on him, don't let him steal shit. That's it, that's your orders. I'm out of here.
I was just trying to enjoy my breakfast, and he was staring at me like he was gonna fuck me.
Breakfast turned lunch.
The captain of the guard turns back around and is like, I looked at you like, what? No.
Yeah, it tracks. It tracks.
He looks at you like you're absolutely the craziest dwarf he's ever met, which is not entirely a lie. Just looks at you, is like, I'm out of here. I'm going to my tent. All right. After Aligor fights, what else are you doing? You now have a dragon bodyguard essentially following you around.
So, like, I'm gonna tell Panther Lily to go a completely different way, and I'm gonna slip my ring of invisibility back on and bolt.
Okay. Where are you going?
I don't know. Just where they can't watch me.
So, here's the fun part about Candlekeep. It is literally just one giant circle.
Yep.
That's fine.
Oh man, I should have went to go check to see if they had rats. Damn.
I'm gonna start wandering in and out of shops and randomly knocking shit over. People can't see me.
There are no shops. It's literally just a bunch of boarding houses that the guards sleep in. And the mages use every now and
going
then.
in people's rooms and start fucking with shit.
I'll say that works for the first 2 hours until a mage literally looks directly at you and just follows you the entire time you're doing shit.
Go the fuck away.
You're in my room.
You shouldn't leave your door unlocked.
I wasn't expecting somebody to try and break in when I was here.
Well, you shouldn't leave your door unlocked. It's very dangerous. There's psychopaths out there.
He looks, he's like, you know what? This spell strains my eyes. And he casts the spell magic on your ring. There, now I can see you.
Bitch.
You do know that it is a crime to use magical items within the walls of Candlekeep, yes?
No, because I'm not from here.
Well, that's not my problem. Now, if you'll kindly exit out of my room, you can probably turn invisible again in a moment.
Well, now I have to hide here for a bit because I am not being followed.
He kind of like glances past you for a moment and is like, there is no one within 120 feet of this building. You will be fine. Please leave.
Fine. I miss Stephanie. He just leaves.
That's killed about 6 hours of your total time. What do you want to do with the last 6 hours? Because Panther Lily is now looking for you.
Can I sneak out of Candlekeep?
Not really. Candlekeep is like one big ass door that has to be opened by a spell. A spellcaster has to let you out. That's how they ensure nothing gets taken out that's not supposed to be.
I know, he's just not letting you have any fun.
He's not letting me do shit.
Candlekeep is a fortress. I'm sorry. You guys knew this when you came here.
In Lindsay's defense, she wasn't here last week.
That is true.
I was not here. So, like, I guess I'm gonna go back to the bar and start another fight just because I'm bored and have nothing better to do.
You try and
And I
start.
was
You
left
try and
unsupervised.
start picking a fight with one of the mages, and he kind of. This one mage, definitely not an archmage yet, but still powerful. He kind of just smiles and is like, "Very well." And he casts Conjure Elemental, and he lets you fight the Earth Elemental he summons.
Ooh, that sounds like so much fun. Yay.
He's like,
What
"You
kind
can
of
have
earth
fun with-"
elemental? What's it made out of?
He's like, "You can have fun with him." And Bertrand's at the bar and is just like, "What are you? But this is my bar. You can't fight it." Ah, screw it. 10 gold on the dwarf winning. The mages start taking bets. Start placing bets. The pot ends up being like 250 gold by the end of it.
I want to do like stonework history on the golem and see like what it's made out of.
It is made simply out of granite and a little bit of iron. There's a little bit of iron within the stone.
Nice. So that those iron deposits will create weak spots in it.
Pretty much.
So like, what do I have to do to like kill it?
Earth elementals have, I think, like 100 hit points.
Okay, does a 17 hit?
Should, yeah.
Sweet. And I guess I'm gonna use my fist.
Yeah, 17 just hits.
Dun 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 dun. Unarmed strike.
All right.
So, because I'm just gonna use my fist. I'm not gonna bother pulling out weapons for it. And that's a D. I think.
I don't think you have the unarmed fighting style, so I think it's just your strength modifier plus 1.
Okay, so my strength modifier 4 plus 1 is 5 points of damage, I guess.
All right. You hit it for 5 points. You do have a second attack. You are a 5th level ranger or higher.
Well, I'm gonna hit it again.
Go for it.
So it's gonna be an 18, and strength modifier plus 1, 5. This is gonna be dragged out for a while.
You said a 15?
18 to hit.
18, yeah, that hits. Okay. So the Earth Elemental is going to make its 2 slam attacks against you.
Bye bye, Aligor.
That is a 15 to hit.
16 is my armor class, so you denied.
It slams down and you just step out of the way. A little bit of rubble dusts up on your arm and you're just like, oh shit. Goes for the second slam attack. That is even worse. Wow. Okay, that's a 10 to hit. That misses. You dodge both slam attacks as it brings its arms down on you. And it kind of just like is following you with like these blank face that was just crafted into these stones.
Dodge, dodge. Duck and roll, duck and roll.
It's your turn.
16 to hit.
16 misses.
Oh, 16 misses. Okay, so...
So you go to punch and the Earth Elemental brings its arm up and just blocks you. You would have hit it, but it just blocks like with a more sturdy piece of rock.
Nice. 17 to hit.
17 just hits.
Attack.
Yep.
Okay. So then another 5 damage.
All right. You've chipped away like 2 of the iron deposits. Like there's a nice little chunk missing out of like the pectoral area, but nothing really like broken.
Fuck this shit. I'm bringing out Gravel Fresh.
Okay.
I'm bored now.
That is
has severe ADHD.
That is a 16 to hit for the slam attack.
That surprises me, not in the slightest.
16 hits.
All right, that is 14 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
As this stone, as you're reaching for Gravel Thresh to pull out, the stone arm slams down on your arm, kind of knocking you to one knee. As the second arm goes, yeah, that hits. That's a 25.
Ah, you bitch.
The second arm kind of just sweeps at you, but this time you have Gravel Thresh and you block, but the impact still hits you in the ribs for 14 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh yay. I'm in danger.
You picked this fight.
How much was it? 14?
14. So a total of 28 damage this round.
Sweet. So I have 21 hit points. So I've got Gravel Thrash out now.
Okay.
Let's see. There's a 20.
A 20 does hit, yes.
Okay, and then let's see. That's a +8 for a hit DC, so that's 28. That definitely hits.
Oh, you had a natural 20. Okay.
I had a natural 20. So let's see. Bludgeoning. Yeah, so 1d8 plus 5. That's going to be a 7 plus 5. That is 14. No, it's not 14. It's 12. So, 12 points of damage.
Doubled because you said it was a 7 on the die, so that's 14 plus 5, which is 19.
19 points of damage. Yay!
Nice. You get a second attack.
Second attack is 18 to hit.
That hits.
And that's with the modifier.
Yep.
So, yay. Another d8 plus 5. That's going to be a 6 plus 5, so 12 plus 5. My brain does not compute. 17.
All right. Yeah, the 2 hits, you kind of like take your hammer and spin once and bring it around a second time. The second hit, both hits take out this huge chunk within like the rib cage of this creature. As it comes back, as you put Gravel Thresh down from the second spin, you see this one large arm come down for a slam attack once more. That's an 18 to hit.
18 hits.
That is 14 points of bludgeoning damage. And then,
Hey, deal.
yeah, that's a 23 to hit.
Yeah, so I'm dead.
Yeah. The first one like knocks you down to your knee, and then this one arm comes down and slams you down into the ground. The druid, who is enjoying the show, kind of stands up and walks over and casts Cure Wounds on you. You heal 9 points of healing. The Earth Elemental is sent back to the material plane, or sent back to the Earth plane, and they all kind of clap for you. It's like, you actually survived longer than we thought you would.
Eat my dick. I'm gonna take my potion of greater healing.
As you do, Bertrand comes over and hands you a small bag. Well, you survived longer than they were hoping you for, so here's your 50 gold.
Yay, thanks.
And then he hands over the remaining 200 gold to Mordecai and Simulacrum, who was in the back and said you would definitely lose.
Fuck off. Anyways, I took my greater potion of healing. That's 11 plus 4, so that's 15.
There you go.
Wait. Mordenkainen bet that Aligor would lose and won the pot.
Everybody else was betting on
They
certain
felt
time
sorry
frames.
for me.
Everybody else was betting on time frames. They were like 6 seconds, 12 seconds, 30 seconds, and Aligor survived 15 seconds. No, 18 seconds.
Yeah.
So
No one bet 18 seconds. Mordecai was the only one that's like, oh, he's going down to a slam attack.
Ah, there we go. That makes sense.
So, you know, all the fun.
Did you have fun? Did you get it all out of your system?
Yeah, I'm just bored.
You step outside to kind of like catch your breath, and it's like, okay, got my ass kicked by an Earth Elemental, can check that off my list. And you see Sporky walking to the church.
Ooh.
Yes, I totally see that.
With your blind sight, you totally see that, yes.
What the hell is the old nutbag up to? I'ma follow him, because I got nothing better to do.
Okay. You happen to see him perform the ritual, and the spider charm glow and wrap around his body.
Oh, that's terrifying. You know, I can't see it, but like I'm sure I can feel it.
Yeah, you feel like the necklace on his body like shake, and long things grow around him. Your your echo sense is just like picking up on that. You're like, oh, that's creepy.
Giving tremor sense?
That's terrifying.
Yeah, basically the same thing. I just gave her blind sense because it made sense with the blindness.
No. Yeah.
I'm basically just Toph.
Basically.
You wish you were tough.
Cool enough to be Toph, thank you.
Reckless enough to be tough.
Around this time when Sporky is finished with his ritual, Galark, your 24 hours are up, and you are ejected to the front.
Oink!
You literally feel everybody around you just sees you like blink out of existence, and you just appear standing in front of the doorway. The man in gray who's reading over papers looks at you as like, oh, looks like your time is up. Well, have a nice day.
That was a
Yeah.
lot gentler than I was anticipating.
Dings. I was expecting to land on my ass, but okay.
Yeah, it's like you said.
I'm gonna go
it
find Aligor.
It was said that visitors that stay longer than 24 hours would be violently ejected. That was not violent in the slightest.
Wait, did you come with me?
I feel gypped. I feel absolutely. I demand a refund.
You might get the sense that Mordekainen says that so people don't try to push their luck.
I expected a show. I did not get a show.
I mean, I could retcon it to literally Galark gets pulled, like a giant arm gets pulled, sent through the door, grabs Galark, and yanks them out. We could do that.
Thank you. That would be more entertaining.
No.
All right, fine, yeah. There's a spectral hand, like Bigby's hand, comes through the door, grabs Galark, and you see the archway open. Grab Galark and yank them out through the door, and like throw them off the stairs of the library.
Oh, that hurt. Wait, where's Rover?
Rover kind of like is standing behind you and is like, they really do mean violently. Interesting.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Ow!
Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going back to gluing leaves onto my witch's hat.
Mhm.
Yeah, Galark is going to go find Aligor.
You look over. You can look over and you see Aligor and Sporky kind of standing outside the church. Sporky now is sporting this like spider corset looking piece around his chest.
In it to more of a harness.
Harness, yeah. English is hard, okay?
English
I know,
are
it's
is
so
hard.
hard for us native speakers.
I know, right?
Lord.
All the made up words.
You don't get to say anything, Miss Prefix.
Fuck you!
No, I'll pass. Not into Sweet Home Alabama shit.
The three of you are all identical. I swear.
3?
Korvac. I'm including him in this.
Oh, you should see us all together.
Oh god.
I mean, we were literally raised together. Of course we're similar.
Family that fights together stays together.
The
See-
family that picks us together lasts.
See, I want to agree with that, but me and Doom are two very different people.
Oh no, we're very different people. We just know how to bounce off one another.
Yes.
I mean,
Especially.
especially since it had happened physically enough times.
That's 100% true. Honestly.
Literally was just about to say that, so. If that doesn't give you an idea, I don't know what will.
No, the mind meld is too strong.
Oh my god, it's so strong.
I mean, how many times have we pulled words out of each other's brains?
How many times did we not even have to say anything to each other?
Exactamente.
I need a one shot where you two play like twins that are psychically linked just for entertainment purposes alone.
Oh, it's worse with me and Philip because we are twins.
I started growing up that people thought Emily and I were the twins.
I can see why. Anyway. Yeah, Galark, you see Aligor and Sporky hanging out in front of the religious building. It's not really a church, it's literally just a modge podge of all religions that can have an altar for a moment.
Okay.
You see them standing there kind of talking about what the fuck Sporky just did.
Galark would just go and join them.
Aligor, are you asking
You guys-
Sporky what the fuck happened?
Yeah, like what the fuck happened, my dude?
What?
I've become whole.
That does not sound ominous in the
That's-
slightest.
Cryptic. You want to elaborate on that a little bit, or like, you know, little more explanation?
Remember all those souls that I keep sacrificing?
Yeah, it's a bit concerning.
Okay,
Oh,
well,
did you talk to Loth?
Yeah, well, it paid off.
You knew about this? You knew about the whole weird, creepy thing?
I met Loth. I didn't know the true extent and everything, but there's a method to the madness, let's just say.
I have some concerns. I'm not ready to voice them yet, but I have concerns.
Well, as long as we keep killing cultists, I think we're still good, right?
Yes, that is true.
Yep, so.
I need a drink.
I'll buy you a
So
drink.
I'm gonna go get a drink.
Haven't anything today? That's a shock.
Where's our paladin friend? I want to show her.
Still in the library.
Oh,
Where
okay.
I got yanked out.
Ah,
Literally. I
ah.
was very hands-on.
Still kind of morning-ish here, or is it night?
Oh,
No,
Galark.
by this time it's 12 hours after you guys went in there, so it's about 9, 10 o'clock in the afternoon, or 9, 10 o'clock at night.
Okay.
Galark,
Yes.
my queen bids you hello.
Thanks. I'm already taken.
Mm-hmm. She knows.
Rover kind of like gets into a very defensive position when he hears this, and he's just like, "Arr."
Down, boy. Down.
Hmm.
Okay. I'm gonna go in the food. You coming? Or
Yeah,
you gonna
I'm
chat
hungry.
with your... Okay, cool.
Oh, Aligor, by the way, you notice that Rover is a lot bigger than Clifford now.
Hey.
Clifford was a little bit bigger than Rover for a while, and now Rover had a growth spurt.
Puberty.
It's okay, Clifford. It's okay. Hi, Bugsy.
Yeah, Aligor's not gonna ask, I guess.
Yep, doesn't look like it.
I was just about to ask, actually, so what the fuck happened?
What
Had
do
a
you
cat
mean?
hop up in my lap. Why is Rover bigger?
Had a growth spurt.
Okay, like I'm not saying I'm an expert on dragons, but I think that's a little faster than normal.
Well, I'm not, so you can always ask him.
I do speak Draconic, don't I? Mm-hmm.
Well, he answers in common. It's like, well, it's real simple. I made a deal with my friend Galark here, and magic has its ways. Yes, the dragon
Clifford,
just
what
spoke
the
to you.
fuck? Clifford, what the fuck?
Clifford just smiles and is like, you feel this little mental touch. Later, I don't think you're quite ready for that. But the voice doesn't sound like a small baby dragon. It sounds like a very old, possibly very cranky dragon.
You know, I'd be insulted right now if it wasn't for the fact I just got my ass kicked by a pile of rocks.
In here?
No.
You guys then notice that Nyx is kind of following you now and is like, you got your ass kicked by a pile of rocks? Aren't you a dwarf? Isn't that like your thing?
Hey, Nyx, go back to whatever hole you crawled out of.
I'm gonna go get food. I'm hungry. I've been reading for like 12 hours.
So, anyways, I'm gonna go have a drink now. Bye. Bye.
It's only one in, so we're all going to the same place.
It's literally one inn, one store, just one.
One stop
Stupidest
shop.
fucking place we've ever been in. Why are we here again?
Cultists.
Yes, kill them. Yeah.
I'm very surprised
who
you
I
haven't
miss?
tried to. Who?
Stephanie. I miss her attempting to stab me.
Stephanie is not here.
That's why you haven't betted any of the mages here yet. Is that why?
No, because Stephanie told me that if I did it again, she'd stab me.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought.
How much gold did I get from that bet?
50.
50?
That's cute.
Doesn't matter, I'm still filthy rich.
Yeah, you really are. It's kind of ridiculous.
You really are. Yeah.
So anyways, I just really miss Stephanie. I feel like we had a deep connection and I haven't seen her in a while, and now I feel like she's bored of me.
I'm surprised someone as sure as you would have a deep connection with anyone.
Hi-oh!
You guys,
Keep
you get
fucking
back.
around. Galark, you're gonna feel a deep connection too.
You get back to the inn, and Infernus and Lunarius are back. Lunarius has thrown 4 dragon worms up on a table. Has just thrown like 4 wormlings up on a table, and has Infernus cleaning them.
Oh, what's this dandy?
Galark positions Rover behind him and goes up to the bar.
Lunarius catches the eye of Rover and Clifford, and is just like, fuck. That's what I was afraid of.
I don't know what's happening. Everything got really tense.
Lunarius just pays attention to the to the 4 white wormlings that are dead on the table, and finishes cleaning them and preparing them. Bertrand, we're having dragon stew tonight, and probably for the next little while. So whoever wants some, tell them to get ready.
I think I'm good.
Did you say
What?
Yes, dragon stew. And there's a message. There is a message that rings through the magnificent mansion. Lord Lunarius has brought fresh ingredients into Candlekeep. There is dinner being prepared as we speak.
Cool.
I don't know what's actually in it, so I'm probably gonna go, oh, food, yeah.
Well, I'm gonna skip this one. I'm not really hungry.
Emily, it's the rabbit stew all over again.
So, like, I have rations.
That so didn't sound like rations, but okay.
You see Lunarius cut off a bit of the white dragon's fur and throw it to Rover, who gladly catches it.
Yeah, it's still
We're not
nice.
hunting dragons to feed any sort of appetite you're getting.
Silvr Daddy going to eat. No.
Do you want Silvr Daddy to eat you?
Rover kind of like touches your mind and it says, actually, I think Lunarius and I have a bit of an agreement right now. He's not going to bother me.
Oh.
That's good. Bertram!
Yeah? What?
What kind of weapons you got back there?
I've got some pretty basic weapons. Some of the mages have left like wands and whatever back here. He pulls out this morning star and lays it on the table. This belonged to a paladin that died, oh god, what was it? 10 years ago, maybe? It's been sitting here collecting dust because nobody can afford it.
Okay. I'm going to turn out to Rover and just talk in his mind. Is like, what do you think?
Rover kind of like peeks over the table and is like, it's good.
Okay. Yeah, so I want to trade that for this, and he brings that spawn and puts it on the counter. Fair trade?
He looks at it and is like, does this axe have a history? This mace has a history. I'm not sure about that axe though.
Yeah, it has a...
Long and bloody history.
What do you mean by history, though?
Like, has it been any notable battles and whatnot?
If you count taking down a red dragon, then yes.
A red dragon, you say? That is a little noteworthy.
Yes.
Tell
I
you
went
what.
up against a hybrid, too.
That does sound interesting.
Oh yeah, Lunarius was there, too. It was great.
Forget the hybrid.
Okay. Yep, that one. Okay. He looks at it, looks back, it's like, you know what? I will do this as a fair trade. Yes, I'll do this as a fair trade. And he puts his
Right.
hand on Spawn and pulls it away from you.
Can we have a moment of silence for the loss of Spawn?
Yeah, no.
I thought so.
He puts the mace in front of you, and you can feel a strong magic coming off of this mace.
Ooh, what does it do? I'm not there. Sorry.
So, why did you tell me the history of this one?
Well, this mace was wielded by the Paladin Aligor, and he died 10 years ago in... Well, we call it a training accident, because he took a bunch of cadets out, went to clear out a, what I like to call a zombie infestation. Archlich tried to rise up, Lunarius didn't have time to handle it, he took care of it. Well, Argon died by the hands of this Archlich, which then Lord Lunarius over there had to take care of anyway. But the mace was recovered. This is a Mace of Disruption, a weapon that is very powerful against the undead.
Huh. Nice.
Yep, so you have a Mace of Disruption.
Yeah.
So it does require attunement, and while you're holding it, you have a bright light within 20 feet. You're shedding a bright light at all times.
Yay, we now have a walking glow stick.
Basically.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Miller is gonna get some food and then work on the interior.
yeah, Mace of Disruption. When you hit a fiend or an undead with it, that creature takes an extra 2d6 radiant damage. If it has 25 or fewer hit points after taking this damage, it must succeed a DC 15 Wisdom saving throw or be destroyed.
Yes.
On a successful save, the creature becomes frightened of you until your next turn.
I like that. I
Yeah.
like that a lot. Okay.
Do, do, do.
So yeah, you can add Mace of Disruption to your character sheet.
Okay. Yeah, Galark will order something that is not made out of dragon meat for himself, and then just get a how big do I want to do? A couple pints of cheap alcohol for Rover.
Okay. When you say for Rover, they look at you funny for a moment. He's like, well, all right. I guess your flying dog thing. Oh, that's a dragon. I really need to get my eyes checked. Okay. I guess he can have a drink. That's fine. Brings out what is essentially a half cask. Huh?
He can handle his liquor better than me, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, he brings out what is essentially a cask cut in half, full of liquor, and puts it in front of Rover, and Rover just enjoys it. Rhiannon and Doot, how much longer are you guys gonna stay in the library? Are you gonna use your full 24 hours, or?
I'm going to use my 23 hours and 59 minutes.
Oh, I wanted to leave. I'm done.
All right, Doot is done. You can head back to the tavern whenever you're ready.
Shit, tavern. Oh, the smith is probably closed.
Actually, on second thought, there's nothing really that I wanted to do research. So yeah, I'll leave too.
Yeah,
head back to the tavern. Since everything's closed besides the tavern. Okay.
The tavern's the only thing in town. There is no smith here. There are no shops. There are no other taverns.
Hold on. Okay, yeah. I think, yeah.
Yeah, it's literally all buildings for people to, like, refugees to stay in, and that's literally it.
Alright then, so yeah, going to the tavern. I need some ice.
Alright. You guys make it back to your tavern. By the time Doot and Rhiannon get there, the dragons have already been cleaned and are starting to be cooked up. The only thing that's left on the table are a little bit of bone that Lunarius is cleaning and...
Left me bones?
Lunarius looks over to one of the mages and brings him over. I'm regretting my decision in saying these words. I want you to turn these four into... I want you to figure out how to make these 4 wormlings into a Dracolich. And... I want you to figure out the process. The mage kind of looks back and is like, are you sure? Lunarius is like, I hate asking this. I really do. But if I know the process, I might know how to stop it. If I can at least recognize the spells, I can counter them in some way. But first I need to know what the spell is. Your library has extensive knowledge. One of you should be able to figure it out, I'm sure. Mordecai and Simulacrum kind of wanders over and is just like, we'll do our best, sir.
Didn't Galark learn the process?
Are you sharing that information with Lunarius?
Oh.
The answer is yes, you did, but the else comes down to, are you willing to share the information with Lunarius?
Ooh, decisions.
Key, even or odd?
Well, let me just see something first. He'll be incredibly mad if he ever finds out that you knew and didn't tell him. Mad enough to... you. So if you want to leave it to chance, may the odds be ever in your favor.
Odds and odds! That's a yes! Galark does share! Damn it! Galark's just sitting there eating over here and be like, oh, I know how to do that. Just absentmindedly just says it.
Lunarius looks over at you and is like, excuse? What?
Oh, I said that out loud, didn't I?
Rover looks up at you and is like, really? Okay.
You forgot for a moment that you did not like Lunarius and wanted to be helpful.
Yes. Galark sighs and is like, yeah, I
Lunarius
learned.
pulls up a chair next to you and just sits there and is like, well. And 2-3 more mages come around the table. Enlighten us.
Do you even remember how it went?
I didn't give that many details.
You didn't give me that many details.
Over the next few moments, how willingly are you sharing this information? Like, you're just spilling, like, exactly what you know?
Awkwardly spilling my guts. Yes.
Gotcha. So over the next, like, hour or so while you're eating and stew's being prepared, you explain the process or what you know. You also drop the hint that the dragon eggs and the crystals have a relationship, and that's how the older dragons are being reborn into the world. Lunarius looks very annoyed, and he's like, I could have given up this body a long time ago. Fuck.
Probably, yeah.
And he's like, okay, we'll continue.
So good. So as I was saying before I was rudely interrupted,
Question your luck. I'm not there yet.
No, you come in and see, like, you finally come in and see Galark talking to Lunarius and these mages about something, and you're like, what's going on?
Did someone cast Charm Person when I wasn't looking?
they might as well have.
Lunarius stands up and is like, all right, I need you 3 to replicate this and bring these 4 young ones back. If it works, then I at least know the process to create Dracoliches, and then I can defeat them.
Wait, what? What?
And he kind of turns around to Steven, who's following you. Steven, I need you to follow them so you know how to counter this spell. And he's like, okay, I can do that.
Wait, what happened? I just got here. What?
Galark is just gonna say, under his breath, but not actually trying to be quiet, just like, you're welcome.
He looks at you and is like, just pats you on the head. Thank you, Galark.
I love you, Galark.
That wasn't condescending at the slightest, but okay.
I love you too, Sporky. And Galark is just going to continue just eating, just like, okay.
Well, now that I'm fairly confused by that interaction, what's on the menu?
Dragon.
I beg your pardon?
Well, worm, but yeah.
You say that as big bowls of soup are being brought out, and you see the dragon bones cleaned on the table. Bowls of soup are being brought out. There's large chunks of meat in it, and you're just like, oh.
Oh. Well, I suppose it was kind of Lunarius to bring back dinner.
Yeah. I guess.
Infernus sits down and looks at you. I was like, it actually doesn't taste as bad as you think it does.
Yeah, Rover seems to like it.
Oh yeah, Rover's diving into a bowl of it and just like chomping down on this white dragon meat.
Rover eats acid.
Rover is basically a garbage disposal.
Rover will eat anything within reason. And out of reason, honestly.
Does Rhiannon have any thoughts about my new appearance?
I'm sure she does.
I haven't looked in your direction yet. Give it a minute. I'll surely notice eventually.
Yeah, you look around as everybody's sitting down eating. You glance over at Sporky and you're like, oh yeah, I don't like this guy. Why is he wearing a harness?
What the fuck is that?
What do you mean?
You seem to have wrapped yourself in something. What is that?
Oh, I didn't wrap myself in it. It wrapped itself around me.
How is that any better?
Because one I would have to do it, and the other it did it to me.
Phrasing! Phrasing!
Oh, phrasing hit that one hard.
It's kind of like when you run a red light, but it doesn't actually turn red until you get right underneath it.
What does that have to do with anything? And what the fuck are red lights?
Have you never seen the Horror District? They put up the red lights?
in Candlekeep?
Well, not in Candlekeep. In other towns.
That'd be hilarious. But anyway,
And what part of my being me
this
being
part of the
a
circle.
paladin of Lathander, a god of light, makes you think I would have anything to do with the red light district?
It's in the name, light.
Yeah. Red light?
Light.
Thank you, Peanut Gallery. That you still did not answer my question. What the fuck is that wrapped around your torso?
It's a gift.
That literally explains nothing.
It helps
You're not
me.
gonna tell her.
It-
So you're
it-
not gonna tell her?
Should I? Don't you think she'll get kind of all uppity
You-
again?
I mean, she's apprehensive, but I mean,
But
she's new to all of this, so shouldn't you?
Well,
What the hell do you mean by uppity?
You're right. She's getting uppity right now. You better not.
see?
Oh.
You probably shouldn't then.
Oh, televisions with all of you.
I tell the truth, she pulls out a sword and we try to kill each other. That's not good.
When did she pull his sword out on you?
I said if I tell her, she might.
That only happened one time. I already had my sword out, and you had just killed my interrogate. The person I had been interrogating.
That's true.
So
I
in
have-
that instance, I was justified.
I have a relationship with someone-ish.
That can be said of literally the three of us.
Perhaps this relationship was with somebody that may and or may not be a goddess?
Again, Paladin of Lathander, cleric. I say as I point first to myself, then to the left.
All right. Well, let's say that your god and or goddess is on the very bright light district, right?
Yes, it's in the
All right,
name.
let's
Lathander,
pretend that
god
my
of light.
right. Let's pretend that my goddess doesn't like light.
Okay, light cannot exist without. Well, shadow cannot exist without light, and shadow is necessary for light to be discernible.
It's the darkness, which is the absence of light.
Ah. I can see how you'd be concerned with the diametrically opposed
Right.
deities. And what, pray tell, is this goddess's name? Though considering that you're used to wear a spidery amulet that is no longer present, as far as I can tell, I might have a guess.
I'm gonna scoot away for just a little bit. My goddess's name is Loth, the demon queen of spiders.
You literally see a vibration go throughout Rhiannon's body at the name of spiders. Oh, I see. Okay then. Well, I'm just gonna drop it at that and just walk away. I'm
start-
not dealing with this. I'm not
I
dealing
start-
with this.
I start eating again because I'm hungry.
Zen is looking around the table at everybody and just like, my hair is getting grayer. I didn't think that was possible.
Yeah, right now, Rhiannon's thought process, there is no. Well, what was I thinking? There is no Spider Queen in Ba Sing Se at the moment. Just
There-
to keep up the Atla references.
There is no spider goddess in Ba Sing Se. All right. As dinner comes to a close, you guys, it is late. It's getting later. It's around 11 o'clock by the time you guys finish dinner. Your rooms are still prepared. No extra charge because you are under the accompaniment of Lord Lunarius. You guys have your assignments.
I don't think I used his preferential treatment.
Yes, like now he's being nice about it. Last night he was like, "No, fuck you guys, pay for your own rooms." Tonight he's being nicer about it. You guys find your way to your rooms. You guys rest up. In the morning, you guys are brought back downstairs for one final war meeting to go over y'all's plans for the upcoming sieges of 2 locations. But we will do that when the entire party is here next week.
Yeah, if the entire party is here next
Will
week.
the awesome naders find their way through? We'll find out next time on. I don't know the title for it, so go ahead.
The Dragon Queen's Ascension.
Ba-da-da-da.
Daddy.
Well, at least she has good timing.
No, you're not getting.
At least she waited until the end of the stream.
Yeah.
She heard, "Hey, you're done. Cool. Can I have your phone now?" No, you can't.
I meant after.
Negotiation time.
Anyway, yes, you guys are actually coming to the end of what was supposed to be the first arc, the Horde of the Dragon Queen book, and then we move into Rise of Tiamat. So you guys are coming close to the end of that. Unfortunately, the first arc was Aligor's backstory. That became the first arc somehow. I don't know how, it just did.
I think it's because like I didn't give you a full-on backstory. You're like, you know what? I'm just gonna wing it. It'll be fine. It's fine.
Yeah, it's essentially how the first arc went. So you guys are actually coming pretty close to the second arc. But yeah, you guys will work on that next week. Dun. This will be up on the podcast probably tomorrow morning, or it'll be prepared to be put up at
Next
some
week.
point this week.
On Dragon Ball Z.
Next week on Dragon Ball Z. Aligor, fix your character sheet to level 7, please. Thank you.
I did fix it to level 7.
Is it fixed now?
I
Okay.
did that. Yeah, I did that before we even like actually got into the game. I was like, oh shit.
Because I was gonna have the layout fixed, but I couldn't fix it without all the character upgrades. So,
Yeah.
but yes, I think I just need to get Zens fixed. Anyway, thank you guys for coming out. We will see you guys next time. I gotta go to work. So, bye guys.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya. Have a good night.
Bye.